Hey, hey, what's up,
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want
in. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem in the Crypto episode 1281. Today is Friday, January 17th, 2025, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. ish. And today's top stories: Trump plans executive order making crypto national policy. Crypto developer sues U.S. Attorney General, wants software deemed legal. U.S. Consumer Finance Watchdog sued for treating digital wallets like banks. And Senator Lummis claims FDIC destroyed Operation Choke Point 2.0 documents. Ooh, they better hope they didn't. And more. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. Oh man, listen, I think it was about 3 or 4 days ago when I was like, this is how you make your money. Was it last week? It might have been last week. Let's say a full 7 days ago. But I remember hearing the last 7 days saying this is how you make your money in Bitcoin or make more money in Bitcoin as far as leverage trading in a safe way. And that's when we just had a small dip down to 90 to 92,000. I said, hey, we're going right back to 100K. So now's the time to put a leverage play in and ride it out. So within 7 days, you could have made you some great money back on Bitcoin. Today, price is at $103,861, up 6.4%. Ethereum, $3,444, up 5%. Ripple, $3.26, up 0.79%. And my correction the other day, I think I said live with the all-time high we said was 380 some years ago. Solana, $220, up 5.35%. Cardano at number 9, $1.12, up 4.66%. And Tron at number 10 at 24 cents, up 4.75%. So those are your top 10 coins. Fear and Greed index is at 57, so still not as high as it really should be. Bitcoin dominance at a 56.38, and Ethereum dominance at a 11.4. And again, Ethereum dominance is starting to slip. This is a time where you should actually see them pumping as well. But I think these last few uh dips, retracements have shown us that hey, Ethereum isn't as valuable as it once was in the eyes of consumers and retail investors. It's becoming what Bitcoin was to a lot of people as far as just saying, hey, it's fat or slow moving, it's too big. I don't think these things are true, but this is what competing projects say about Bitcoin. Like Ethereum is becoming that to the Sui crowd, to the Solana crowd, to some of these meme coiners out there. So this to me could be the slow, not necessarily end, of course, of Ethereum, but the dissipation of its community as we once know it after this cycle. If they don't pick it up after this cycle, we can see them about it here sooner rather than later. So we'll see what happens. And I'm talking specific community, seeing them as a top 2 coin, seeing the Ethereum percentage. Like that percent is only there under Bitcoin because it's at 12, 13, 14% at times, right? But if you start slipping down to 8 to 7 to 6 to 5%, you're just another competitor now to another altcoin as you've always been. We shall see what happens to the future of Ethereum. But really quick, let me give some shout outs. What up, though, to the chat? Humney, yes, F Bitcoin Friday. Let me actually go ahead and put a link in here. If anybody did want to call in, feel free. I got a few minute tells today. Let me know what I got wrong with coins you like and go ahead and shield. Of course, this is F Bitcoin Friday, so feel free to call in. Go ahead and put this link in the chat really quick. All right. And while I'm doing that, again, back to the chat. Shout out to everybody who joined today. Much appreciated. Good looks. Good morning to everyone. Whistle Tone. Who else? We got Jump Out Girls, Wisdom Bars, STL Solo said crypto about to get turned every way but loose after Trump is done. You already know it. That's why I said crypto is a national priority. Jerome Jones, Larry N, Bashir Muhammad, JB, Tech, Peace L, Dearbit, Les Square. Les, I saw your email too. I'll get back to you about that. Who else we have? Just to inform you, Ethereum charts look good. We will see it at 7K in 2025. Not saying it won't go there, but again, it's all about, does it go there before Bitcoin gets its pump, or does it go there after Bitcoin gets its pump? And of course, shout out to Jake Fever. Look at this new swag. This Jake Fever swag. It says it right here or whatever. This is another Ben Dope collection from Jake Fever. So much appreciate that swag. He has another new shirt for me too that I'm going to premiere. I was going to actually wear it today, but I'm going to wait to wear the new shirt. I got something coming out. And once this thing comes out, hopefully in the next week or so, I'll wear the shirt for the first video. But yeah, it's a good shirt coming out. But shout out to Jake Fever. Appreciate that. All right. What else do we have going on? Oh, and last but not least, that's what I was about to say. Just to paint the picture for you all, what's about to happen. Like, and again, this is what I mean. They say Bitcoin or crypto is a, however many billion-dollar market, or crypto is this multi-billion-dollar market, and soon it'll be a multi-trillion-dollar market, right? All you need to do to eat in this market, for those who are looking at this as a profession and not just an investment or a little bit of both, is eat the crumbs. It's find the crumbs, right? Like a crumb of a multi-billion-dollar market could be thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? You're talking about crumbs from a multi-trillion-dollar market once BlackRock is involved. I mean, crumbs are going to be millions of dollars. So when you think about some of the most simplest things, that crypto website you have, I mean, even for this show, like this was the vision I had for this show when I started. That's why I was like the gentleman of crypto. It had to be a crypto. It wasn't just of just Bitcoins. I'm like, is going to get bigger than Bitcoin. And this is before you could even like really have swaps within wallets and things like that. It's like you already see the writing on the wall. So for those who are looking at this space in more of a professional sense too, this will be a great year of so many things to be done, so many crumbs to you for you to snack on, you to get your little hold on, where we at? We're gonna do like the government this year.
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
Y'all know how it is. I just want my little taste. All right. This is going to be the year of getting your taste, folks. Hold tight and prepare yourself for what's coming next, as I think it's going to be a lot of great things. That 104 is coming. You already know it. All right. Top stories of the day. Oh, let me make sure I actually I posted that link. Did I post the link? I'm not sure if I posted the link. There it is. There is the link to the chat. Feel free to call in if you want to today. Top story of the day, though. Gotta talk. Incoming President Trump. You're still president-elect. I mean, president-elect for, I guess, 48 more hours max. But yes, Trump plans executive order making crypto a national priority. Now, they're saying this might not officially go through, but it could be on the slate. The executive order would instruct regulatory agencies to work with the industry and create a crypto council to represent the industry, according to people familiar with the plans. That would be super cool. Now I'm with that plan. There we go. This is the middle ground to where you actually reach out to these different communities. Now, I'm hoping this isn't going to be a council of Coinbase, MicroStrategy, people from X. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, just literally the heaviest of the heavy hitters. Like, that would pretty much suck, because they're really just going to be doing whatever the banks tell them to. Now, you put the Winklevoss twins on that council, I have a little bit more faith. But still, it shouldn't be just, hey, these are our blue chip companies that essentially are just getting a payback from the election. Now, I can get and understand why that would happen, but I'm hoping that's not just what it is, where these are all the companies and people who paid into my election, and now we have this National Crypto Council for them. Really, all this stuff is just giving the community validity from the United States government, which, again, if you want to make deals internationally or even nationally, to where you have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars now, people don't have to fear that the SEC or the IRS or the CFTC may be coming after them, at least for the next 4 years. Now they can make these deals comfortably, go crazy with lending programs and DeFi programs, hopefully without as much regulation, and still whatever be on top in the next few years. Again, next few years, because the next administration could usher in an entire new set of crypto regulation that would benefit the federal government. But again, we're hoping to see this happen. This is U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, reportedly expected to sign an executive order designating crypto as a national priority that could come as soon as he re-enters office on January 20th. Bloomberg reported on January 17th, citing people familiar with the plans, that the order would mean regulatory agencies. Excuse me, I knew that sneeze was coming. I've been feeling it all day. Pardon me. Oh, man. You know how it sneaks up on you. Citing people familiar with the plans, that the order would mean regulatory agencies would be guided to work with the industry It could also create a crypto council to advocate the industry's policy wishes. The order could be signed on January 20th, Trump's first day back as president, but is not final and could change before it's made public, the report said. Well, you just made it public. Trump is widely speculated to be lining up a day one crypto related executive order as the local industry heavily backed his campaign, and the incoming president promised that the U.S. would be a crypto capital. Here's the thing: if this actually happens to where his day one thing is just crypto, 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 which I'll be fair, I don't think it will be. And the only reason why is because I don't think it sweep the nation like that yet. It's still the cool kid, it's still the money making thing, but I don't think it's swept the nation to where it's swept the nation to where people have still heard about it, but there are a ton of people who don't interact with it. So I would say I don't think that would happen. However, I hope it happens. And if it did happen, then I'm like, not even the first day, the first week, if it's anything crypto related coming out of the president's mouth, what like a long way we've come. Already we have the inauguration ball, so that's cool. But if he actually talks about it, a long way we've come. That's the first thing. Second thing is just like that's really again, you're just talking about just validating it right now, validating the market. Now, again, he could say a lot of good stuff the first week and then actually change policy the next few months or few years that doesn't help or reflect that type of promise he made. But I think even mentioning it will also show that hey, the money was real, the capital was real, the people who got him back into office for the reelection, that crypto capital must have been a lot of real money. That money from Elon, the MicroStrategy money, the money from Coinbase, the ads we ran, like it must have been a ton of money. And if that's true, where he actually does talk about crypto the first week, and it does say, hey, that's how much money was involved in this reelection, then that means, holy, listen, I still think there will be a slower year, 150, 170, because we had just like a big pump, 140, 150. But for the next 2 years after this, we might not see the same type of bear market we've seen previously. I still think we'll see a retracement, 40 percent, 50% or whatever, but it might not last as long. Where normally we've seen bear markets last 2 years, we might see that crazy retracement in a day or two, and it lasts for maybe a month, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, right? Maybe it only lasts for 48 hours. So that will be the good thing there. But I mean, just craziness ahead of us if he were to mention Bitcoin. I don't know. What's the poly market? Are they doing bets on that? Where are the over unders on if Trump mentions Bitcoin the first day or the first week or talks about it? Like, what are the over unders? Yeah, Jump Out Girl said just talking about it will be crazy. Hold on to your seats because it's about to be crazy. Like I can tell you just from this point of view, when I talk about the crumbs, the sponsors are rolling back in. The deals are about to be crazy again. You can start, listen, you could be one of those folks who say, hey, maybe I only have a channel with 500 people. It still might be a sponsor come along, like, all right, hey, look, we got a couple $100. What you trying to do? Like they are going to try to get their word out as far as these crypto companies again. It's going to be another round of the madness. So be ready for it. Bitcoin Shango said, I'm keeping my expectations low regarding what he's going to do on day one. If he doesn't free Ross on day one, bad news bears. Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. Need to get in touch with Lynn as well. Freeing a Ross Ulbricht's going to be a big one. And I think that's something the Crypto Council would definitely push for. So that's going to be something. Oh, thank you. You all provide so much fire and heat to the show. We got to actually check that out. I need to get her on the show ASAP, but that will be a way to tell how much they listen to the Crypto Council because we all know already. Yes, the Crypto Council, like if I had a vote in it or if I had to say to reach out to somebody, like, yeah, man, like, free Ross, man. Like if there's no real bodies, especially free Ross. And if he were to be free, the stance on crypto would be crazy. Or on the flip side, if he isn't free and the crypto council wants it to happen, then do you have any real power anyway? Or like I said, are these just glorified roles to companies like Coinbase who help fund the reelection and now are just essentially getting awarded with a fake or like a quasi prize seat here in the US just for everyone else to see that hey, they're welcome and they're a friend. Like I don't know, but we'll see. It's a lot of stuff about to happen. Enzo, what's up? Said Trump said American crypto projects may be capital tax free. Woo, that's XRP, Solana, H bar, Black Swan event. That is a Black Swan event. If you say, hey, there's no taxes involved, wow, now you're gonna get the real retail and the credit market over here. I mean, hey, You get the corporate market over here overnight. If he says there's no taxes on this thing, like officially, oh, end of every year, we're going to see the biggest pumps we've ever seen. Now, the dips in January will be even sickening, but the end of every year, especially this next one coming up, so much money there to be made. Why? Because you'll see a corporate say, "Hey, here's a way to save on taxes. Throw all our capital into one of these token projects, let it sit for a few months or years, make some capital, then pull it out." So if that's the case, you could see that get absolute. I mean, think about BlackRock. Think about BlackRock doing that without that tax burden. That would be crazy. So can't wait to see. All right. Again, the guns are now pointed at the government. Crypto teams, projects have united and said now is the time to attack. Curb stumps are incoming. First of the few, crypto developers sue U.S. Attorney General wants software deemed legal. You already know I'm for all of this. This is what I'm talking about, self-regulation. This is what it looks like. Michael Llewellyn has asked a Texas federal court to determine that his crypto startup is within the law and to block the Department of Justice from prosecuting him. Oh, you all know what that looks like to me.
We're not gonna take it.
Officially, we are not going to take it. Um, this is where it's about to get muddy now. Again, we will know for sure if Trump mentions anything Bitcoin or crypto related. I want to reiterate. It is showing us in the world that that much money was put into his reelection is real. Because if that much money wasn't put into it, he's not going to mention it. There's no real power. But if that much money was put into his reelection, so the first day or inauguration speech, I mean, he's already doing the ball. But if he really mentions it, then that is going to show that the money is real and everything of the sort. That is important because when you're talking about judges now and other people who get appointed or voted in, and all the political stuff that happens within townships and cities and states and regions start to occur for those positions, judges included. Now, all of a sudden, the judge might rule a different way quickly, saying, well, hey, I got plans to be the mayor one day. I got plans, attorney general here, do this or that or other. Like, I need to make sure these crypto folks are on my side. This is the money. Everyone in town knows this is the money. So in Texas, if you're talking about having a Bitcoin reserve, which they're doing right now, you already know we might have an incoming. This thing literally will be worth more than gold. We're going to replace gold with this. If that's incoming, and now you have crypto companies saying, hey, y'all supposed to be politicians and regulators and all this. You're supposed to be here for us, judge. I want you to fight back against this crypto company. Now judges might really be like, yeah, or not the crypto company, the government. Now judges are going to say, yeah, we are going to stand up for these private citizens and stand and fight for them, not because it's the right thing to do. There's nothing altruistic about it. I've said that word all wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's no altruism with it. It's more just the money's there, the capital is there, and the power is there. They're saying we're following the money. The money is in crypto. The fight is over. The war is beginning to be won. So just to even see this become a story, you got to remember a few years ago, and even recently, I was just screaming like, "Hey, fight back! This is what some of the money is about. You get all these resources and money. You can't just Lambo it out. You got to spend it. Hey, bunch of dope boys in crypto, bunch of corporate dope boys. You can't spend it all on the partying and the fast cars and the houses and vacation. You got to give something to the lawyers. All right, you have to give some of that capital back to the lawyers. But my point is, before, like we mentioned, was it BitMax yesterday? We've mentioned Binance in the past with their fines, Coinbase and their fines. It's like before they started fighting back, they were just getting fined left and right and everything. And now you're actually seeing stories January 2025. You're seeing the crypto community point the weapon back at the government and say, well, no, what we want a FOIA request, or we want to go ahead and do a search. Or in this case, they're saying we want our software deemed legal and we want to officially block the Justice Department from picking into our business. A crypto developer has sued the head of the U.S. Justice Department and asked a court to rule that the crypto software he wants to publish is legal and to block any possible future prosecution. And by the way, I want to reiterate one last thing. I've literally been one of the few people in this space screaming this is like, sue back. That's all. Listen, if every project sues back, if we would have done this years ago, for one, Bitcoin would be worth like 350K. I'm not BSing you. If we would have, every project would have sued the SEC, the Justice Department, and everyone right back. You remember when I said just start doing, hey, discovery. I would have so much discovery and paperwork. Like, oh, did y'all remember we did this one set of emails? Well, have you checked Bitcoin Forum? Have you checked Telegram? Like, no, you won't. You will be reading. And on Telegram, I'm giving you shitcoin groups too because they're important to the case. And yeah, there's like 17,000 messages per day in these groups because it's a global group with 100,000 members. Like, yeah, we're doing that. So the fact that it hadn't happened and it's just now starting happening to me tells me everything I know about the PR, the strategy, strategic folks that were not in these positions in the crypto space in the market, which still kind of aren't. But now we're starting to see these articles where it's like, yeah, we're going back at you. Like, that's what you should be doing. Because if the entire market does that, the government has to slow down their pace of prosecuting people as well. Your project's price goes up. So again, if it wasn't just Ripple fighting back or XRP fighting back and every other coin were as well, you can see every coin be up about ×3. And that would make Bitcoin itself up ×3 easily. So again, just to see these companies fight back, this is why I want to be clear. This is why I'm analyzing this. Starting to see these companies fight back will slow the motion down the government trying to, well, you owe money from 2016. Like that's about to be over with. If we can get more companies to fight back, that whole in 2016 trades in 2017 and 28, they're not going to have time to go back. Trump can be like, wait, you looking at what from where? Yeah, well, there were people doing $200,000 transactions on Coinbase in 2016 when the Bitcoin was. Man, listen, did you not just hear about the new FTX from yesterday? Like that, it'll be something new. So I think if we can get more companies to fight back and push back like this, we can at least have the government move on from the past, which for a lot of people will be a breath of fresh air in of itself. So, and I think that'll be fair since everything is new and we're just doing like, let's just say, I would like Trump to say clean slate. We start 2025 with crypto. So if you did, as long as it wasn't criminally illegal, right? As long as you weren't actually money laundering, like not like, oh, I sold guys some peer-to-peer Bitcoin. No. Like, no, I gave him the Bitcoin for the cocaine. Like, as long as you weren't legitimately breaking laws, hopefully he comes in and say, let's wipe this slate clean and move forward. But this is the United States government we're talking about, which does supersede Trump as well. So it may not go that smooth. But Michael Llewellyn, again, we're talking about a fellow of the cryptocurrency advocacy group Coin Center, sued Attorney General Merrick Garland on January 16th in the Texas federal court, saying he plans to publish new non-custodial crypto software focusing on crowdfunding campaigns called Pharaohs. Ooh, wait. So essentially, ICO software, a DeFi ICO software that will replace the likes of crowdfunding platforms we already have out there. Definitely could work. We've already seen it work essentially without it being a structured space. When you just talk about specific ICOs for different projects, everybody did their own thing. So this would kind of bring everyone together. That would be a pretty cool project. The problem, it says here, the federal government has begun criminally prosecuting people for publishing similar cryptocurrency software, calling it unlicensed money transmitting. The complaint reads, hilarious. I didn't even read this article yet. And yes, this is the direction we're going: money laundering and money transmitting. Essentially, they're calling them a bank. Llewellyn claimed the Department of Justice extended its interpretation of money transmitting laws beyond what the constitutional law allows, which I agree with, in violation of the First and Fifth Amendments, rights protecting free speech and limiting government powers and criminal proceedings, respectively. And again, if this were to push through, the judge would agree. You could also be looking at folks like Tornado Cash getting a different type of appeal or look at their entire case because they're getting after them for the same type of software violations that the United States claims. Coin Center is supporting this suit and comes Coin Center, there we go, got the money behind it, got the lawyers, and comes amid the crypto industry's heightened concern over the prosecution of crypto software devs. These are the fights we're supposed to see happen in this space. It is about time we're seeing them. Cannot wait to see what happens next, not only in this case, but in many other cases. The complaint mentions the U.S. government cases against Tornado. Okay, so they did. Again, I'm doing this live. They mentioned cases against Tornado Cash founder Roman Storm and Samurai Wallet co-founder Kian Rodriguez, both of whom ran crypto mixers and are pinned on unlicensed money transmitting business and money laundering charges. All right, so you can read more about this article. They're giving you some more background on it, but essentially the way I just analyze it, I'm telling you folks, I literally just looked at the headline in that first paragraph, but it's such an easy breakdown of what's going on and what's to come. Again, just to key in on these points, essentially a software dev and their team, an entire crypto team, which has a bunch of crypto companies backing it and good lawyers and a lot of capital, they finally dropped their nuts and was like, you know what? King's been saying that, we've been listening to him for years, but
We're not gonna take it.
Fight.
they said we are going to fight, especially when they realized the people they're fighting against were. I don't listen, folks. The American government is powerful because of the resources, because of the American people. But don't get it twisted. It's a lot of diddly diddly going on over there. All right, you can hire some private high power attorneys and then get all that diddly diddly doodly about the door. All right, so I think they finally realized, hey, it's time to fight back. It's time to swing back, and that is what's happening. And the way that's going to affect the prices is, like I said, even if we don't get actual wins, right? Let's say we start getting losses, the judge rules in favor of the federal government. Even if that's the case, which I don't think that'll be the case, we'll get at least 1 or 2 judges to rule in favor of the crypto. But even once this whole process starts to happen, they'll slow down on going after people. They'll slow down on going after crypto projects, and that will be a win because they'll be able to go far right, high and right. Like they'll be able to build their projects. They'll be able to build these partnerships. There'll be capital in the space. There'll be money in the space. And your favorite project's price will go up. So for those who are looking at just this from an investment point of view, you will make more money as you see more articles like this come out. And you see, I think we're seeing 3 or 4 today. You start seeing 5, 10, 15, 20, hundreds, thousands of these articles come out. The process of going after crypto companies has to slow down. Your token is going to go up from an investment point of view, and from a technology point of view, a technological point of view. If it's an actual project, if it's a real project and they do good, they should also increase that technology as well, because they won't have to worry about being interrupted every 5 minutes from the federal government. So this is all good for the actual community itself. So hopefully we see more of these articles happen, and hopefully the judge rules in favor of Tornado Cash and the Samurai wallet as well. Alec G, what up, though? Yeah, we're all the XRP folks. Yeah, all the XRP. It's been a while. Listen, I just saw a Richard Hart video, or it wasn't him. They were talking about a guy walking out the Louis store, but it was Richard Hart, and it was hilarious. I was like, oh man. Yes, Bitcoin Shango gets it denied, counter sue. That is what we should have been doing. Crypto payola. Yep, that's essentially what's going on. But it's okay. It's not even crypto payola, it's everything payola. And that's the one thing, again, I had to admit to myself, that's the one thing the game I haven't played, but it's like you can't get around it. It is what it is. It's got to be a crypto payola, and it's going to happen. Listen, I will say this though. I think somebody kind of just mentioned it. Trump may be setting himself up as well, because here's the thing. As great as all this is going to be, there is no way, no how we go on a 4-year bull cycle. Like, let's be clear about that. There's no way, no how we go on a 4-year bull cycle. You're like, well, why do you say that? Because right now we're already in the bull cycle before he comes, right? And I already told you, maybe a sell the news event, maybe not, whatever. But even if it isn't, and we have an incredible year right now, like, we're not going to have an incredible 3 years, like incredible 2.5. Like I said, these dips may be shorter, still may be just as intense, but maybe they only last 3 months or whatever. But my point is that the last thing he wants is to leave on a dip, because then it's going to be like, oh, you crashed the market. It's your fault because of XYZ. When the reality is, I had nothing to do with him. This is the timing of the market anyway. And since it's about to be such a bull run, especially the magnitude everyone's talking about, let's say we do run it up to 250K. That dip might send us back to 150. It's going to scare some people. So something to think about. We got Fast Nickel on. Fast Nickel, what's the word?
Hey, it's been a while since I've been on your show.
It has. How you been?
I've been good. I'm just trying to get I started with I put my channel together, so I've been doing some crypto shows, etc.
There we go.
I came on because the last time I was on your show was April 1st, about 2 years ago, and I was.
You bought the NFT. You bought an NFT and something else.
I did buy the NFT, which actually basically went to pot. So that was one NFT that I purchased, my highest purchase, which was a dud. basically.
it happens. Yeah,
Unfortunately, it happens. But when the last time I was on your show, I was talking about XRP and Crypto Blood was like killing me for it. But now, 2 years later,
there we go. Take that victory lap. Hey,
XRP, baby. So listen, I'm happy about XRP.
So have you been holding for the last 2 years?
I've been holding since 2017.
Oh man, since the top.
Before the top, I mean, I originally bought XRP was the very first coin I purchased.
Nice.
So coin, I'm trying to think, gatehub.net gave me 50 XRP for signing up. And
Okay.
at the time it was 0.009 cents.
Nice. There we go.
I mean, I've sold a lot of it.
Right, for sure.
I don't have as much as I had at one time, but I also have a bunch of XRP NFTs, which I'm hoping that those will turn into something big. Because the NFT market is kind of stagnant right now. But I when I bought them for a long term.
And see, that's the thing now, where it's like, that's what I was saying. Even if this is the year of crypto, or we're ushering in the new era of crypto, and this is just the first, like, we're finally, I need to bring up, hold on, let me bring up the adoption curve, because folks, we are still like, we're no longer at the super beginning, but that's what I've been saying for the longest. We still have been at the beginning of this process for the longest. Here we go. I'm gonna bring this up real quick, so everybody can check it out. All right. So yeah, when you look at like the actual adoption curve, the change adoption curve, you got your innovators all the way at the beginning. These are the people who actually created. But again, I would dare to say a lot of people who even watch, some of you warriors are innovators. You created projects or platforms and stuff that people are on. I don't think folks realize that we've been in the early adopting stage for, like, we're still in it. I think we're actually just now leaving the early adopting stage and starting to go over to the early majority stage right now. So we're still super early in this process. I say all that to say, because even right now, when you look at the Ripple price or some of the XRP NFTs, I agree with you. It's like, if you just hold on, they're still trying to do more building. They want to do more things. They want to grow. And they've even talked about profits this week. So it's like, I agree with you. I can see it eventually still bringing in great returns, even smaller pieces of what you originally had.
Yeah, you know what? So there's two fronts on the NFT. So I've been doing a lot of deep dive on quant and everything that's going on in the financial industry. March 10th, the US banks have made March 10th the date. We may not see nothing on the surface, but behind the scenes, they're supposed to go live March 10th, the US banks. And November 25th is when it's supposed to go live global. So quant is going to be a big contributor. And as I've done my deep dive, quant so there's issues with Bitcoin from a security standpoint for the banks, but quant has solved a lot of those issues. So quant is going to be, I like to call it, quant is the tracks, and XRP and other coins will be the trains that run on the tracks.
So what are the issues with Bitcoin and banks?
So, a lot of it is security.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
So because it's open source, there's no security for the banks.
Banks, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying from their point of view.
Solve those issues.
Right. I got you. Yeah, because they can centralize it. I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
No, it's bad. Yeah, but yeah, they can kind of figure out those nodes a little bit better for sure.
Correct. And as you know, the talk forever has been Bitcoin is slow, and it is slow. But I think a day or two ago, XDC has come out with a solution for Bitcoin to help speed it up. So, as you said, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that what we knew about 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago is changing. So like what may not have worked then, they are fixing things behind the scenes so that they work.
Now, let me ask you, are you in Bitcoin as well? Because you're doing some Bitcoin Friday for real right now. You're calling it slow and stuff. Bitcoin's been amazing still. What's going on? Talk to me.
I'm not in Bitcoin. And I mean, I own my original one Bitcoin. I had it back in 2017. I got it for $1,100. I don't have any Bitcoin because I'm looking for gains. And, obviously at $100,000, it's got to go to 200 just to double my money. And there's a lot of other coins that I can triple. Jasmy is a perfect example. I bought Jasmy a year and a half ago at 0.2 of a penny. I got 100,000 of them for $300, and now it's at 3 cents.
There we go.
So, the key is you just got to do your research. There's no guarantee that, even though you've done your research, but you gotta just hold. I mean, I've held coins. I bought coins back in 2018. I've held them for 2 years, and bought them at $200, and they turned into 5,000. But I had to wait 2 years.
Yeah. So I will say this. I agree with you as far as, again, if it's just that investment point of view from a cash USD, then for sure, like the altcoin dive and everything. But from a technological point of view, that's why I was asking specifically what was the issue with the banks? Because right now, a lot of that is just a narrative. I don't think I still think Bitcoin's superior to everything. I think it's the fastest, most efficient moving crypto and out there. But I do think banks and others are trying to, again, this is part of that FUD and that narrative, so they can say, hey, no, we don't need Bitcoin, because to me, it's like they can't control it still. But we get us some quant, we get us some XRP, we get some other stuff in here. This is going to be, and again, for those folks who say they're faster, from what I've seen so far, we'll see if it changes. They're faster to scale, or they're faster at their scale right now, but they're not faster once they scale. So at the volume Bitcoin has, I haven't seen other projects be that fast or not had issues. I've seen other projects at their 10,000 nodes or 10,000 people be fast, but it's just like, all right, I'm not sure if they're truly fast. So I don't know. We'll see, but I'm definitely with you. I do like the plays you make as far as, you're saying you're seeing stuff go from 0 to 3 cents. People, that's the W here in this space.
I was watching a video yesterday, and, so when you look at 2025, I have said that based on charts, et cetera, 2025 is the year. We're going to do well. You're going to have your periods where you're down, but generally it's going to be a good year. But like one guy was watching, he was saying, hey, listen, even though 2025 might be a good year, you still want to say to yourself, okay, what coins are going to pump between now and March? Like, right. You still have to look at short term and long term. Yeah.
And again, it's all about the point of view. If you want this from a cash value or for a crypto value, because some people, I don't know why, but some people do believe in their crypto strong enough to only want that crypto. They're like, this is the future. Bitcoin, I'm with it on, of course, but that's where it changes, because some people are saying, well, I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I know if Jake Fever is watching this, he's saying, I'm not selling my Bitcoin. So he's like, I don't care if it gets to, 100,000, 50,000, a million, because he wants his one Bitcoin. But then if it's like, if you got your Dogecoin, that's what I was actually thinking about. I was laughing because some people don't want to sell their Dogecoin now. I get it, whatever. But if you have Dogecoin, then that's like one of those things where it's like, no, I'm about to make my cash flip on this thing. Like, this is definitely getting sold once it reaches a target type of deal.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking it and you just mentioned it. So I'm glad we're in sync.
Yeah.
So when I first got into crypto, I was anti-Doge because, everybody would talk about, oh, it serves no purpose. It's a meme coin. That was the narrative back in 2017, 2018. And when 2021 came along, and there were people that I knew that didn't even know how to spell crypto, not alone what it does.
Right.
And they made $20,000 and $30,000 off of buying it just because they saw people talking about it on social media. So when I saw that, it changed my whole mindset, because everybody in this space was all talking about all the utility. What does it do? And because of that narrative, I was anti-Dogecoin. But then when I saw, somebody had pointed out, they said, hey, basically Doge can do the same thing that Bitcoin can do, technically speaking. So, don't get it twisted to think that, hey, it's a meme coin. And when I saw, especially now, it might not be talked about, but the meme coins are really what's driving a lot of people. There are rug pulls, but a lot of people make a ton of money off of meme coins.
So this is where I'm about to get you at. This is where it's different at. So I'm with you and I get it, but this is where it's like it is the same, but it's not the same. And the decentralization part of it makes it so like the difference so much because when you do think about Dogecoin at any time,
Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now you have your technically you kind of lost your money.
like listen, it's BitConnect. It's like the same arguments people make for meme coins, for the altcoin market, for Dogecoin. Those are the same arguments everyone made for BitConnect. And they was like, oh, BitConnect is this. It's doing the same thing Bitcoin is doing. And it's like, yes, you all are correct until you realize 4 people run the entire project and they decide to sell on you. So like that's my thing with all these other meme coins and Dogecoin too. Is like technically, like from the transaction process with cryptocurrency, all crypto is secure. And then the money part is the currency. So all it is secure sending of money. That is it. It's a secure sending of money. So yes, all it takes is 2 nodes. You and I can start a new crypto right now. One of these ABC 123 cryptos, and we could send crypto back and forth to each other. We can put our families in it, and it will work perfect. We can say it's fast, it scales, it works just like Bitcoin until we actually get 3 million people on our network, and we actually have to do the due diligence of the developments on it and actually scale it, or vice versa. When you and I say, all right, you know what, let's actually sell and make some money, but all our families are using it, and then it drops 80% like overnight. So that's where it's just like it's kind of the same, but it's just like the decentralized nature isn't really there, which adds a lot of that value to and consensus. If we wanted to fork it again, Dogecoin, some of these coins, if you and I want to fork our ABC coin, we just wake up and fork it. If you want to fork Bitcoin, it's like you can fork it, but will anyone follow you? I don't know, you know. So, but I get what you're saying again. I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. It's like 2 different crowds, either the I only want crypto crowd or I want the cash crowd. So it's 2 different ideals. But I mean, that is what makes this market so big, I think, is that it's adding all these different like personalities, investment strategies, everything all at one time.
Well, I mean, I personally fall into both camps. Like I have my coins that I have on my cold wallet that are for long term, but I have coins that I'm flipping also.
Yeah. You have to. Dumpster diving is a must. And speaking of which, are you already in the Discord? Speaking of flipping tokens, this is some DGen troll box chat right here. Are you already in there?
I'm looking at now. Somebody said Doge can do Bitcoin can do, technically speaking, which is what I'm saying. This guy's been in crypto and don't know anything about Bitcoin.
Don't read the comments. Don't read the comments will get your soul right now. What I will say is in the show description for anybody who listening as well, the link to the Discord is there. It's free right now. So join the Discord. But
okay.
It's definitely come on, bring that altcoin talk over here. Bring that altcoin talk on over. People enjoy it and love it. But no, as always, Fast Nickel, appreciate you calling in. You got the last word. What you got for us?
Listen, it's been a long time. I got to come back more often because we got to support our, we got to support our people.
Hey, for sure. The good thing though is that's why I always tell people, I'm like, look, I'm not going everywhere. The show's going to be here. And this has been a good thing for the shows because even with business, it's like, but some people I did business with in this space 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they double back different years. Some people watch the show like this is what it's for. So, you can check in whenever you can get an update on the news and you keep it rolling. So definitely appreciate you as well.
Have a great 2025 and I'll talk to you soon. Yes,
sir. All right. Take care. Cheers. All right, last couple of articles. Like I said, the fight is just beginning. It is not stopping. U.S. Consumer Financial Watchdog. I'm gonna say walk dog. That's because the crypto community is about to walk the government's dog. No, I was playing. U.S. Consumer Finance Watchdog sued for treating digital wallets like banks. TechNet and NetChoice are challenging a move by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to regulate payment apps and digital wallets such as Apple Pay, Google Wallet, PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Oh man. And what's important about this actually, here's the thing, here's the deal. For those wallets which actually has a banking structure behind it, I get it, but this could kind of push back on the crypto wallets as well, which is of course why Cointelegraph is covering it. 2 technology trade groups has filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, challenging its push to treat payment apps and digital wallets like banks. The complaint filed on January 16 by TechNet, a bipartisan network of technology CEOs and senior execs, and internet freedom activist group NetChoice, opposes a rule issued by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in December. The rule expands CFPB's supervisory authority over general use digital consumer payment applications, targeting larger participants such as payment apps, digital wallets, and other non-bank financial service providers. Now, really quick, I didn't see it, so I'm just not reading it now. The 259-page rule does not include crypto wallet providers or decentralized wallets, but aims to target large non-bank companies. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons because, like I said, they work long term. So if they get the larger companies, eventually they will try to get crypto wallets. I don't think they'll succeed, but they will try if they can get these larger companies. The second thing is, while I do think this is a good fight, I was just dealing with Cash App recently about all your they want all my information. Cash App was like, all right, all this anonymous thing is over for you. And I really could have just dumped the whole account and started over, but I was just like, whatever. Like all I'm doing is just like slowing things down. It's not like stopping anything. They'll eventually figure it out who the account belonged to, type of deal. So but my thing was like, I really pushed back. I was like, well, why? Like, why are you doing all this extra stuff out the blue? And they sent me like a email where basically like, hey, it's our apologies, but this isn't us. They like, we don't want to do this either. They's like, the government's making us do X, Y, and Z now for licensing and everything else. So I get where they're coming from. The government is treating Cash App, Robinhood. They're treating them as a bank. They're treating them as a bank. So on one side of me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I get where the government's coming from. Like, there's many ways where you can agree with them, and I actually agree too at times where I'm like, well, you are a bank, like, unless on the flip side you aren't going to be storing customer information like that, which I know they actually don't want to do, but the government's forcing them to do it, and that's how they're kind of calling them a bank by forcing them to do that. Uh, but on the other side, it's like they are opening things up to the crypto market, so it's like, is that the exception for these type of wallets where they're saying, hey, if you're offering Bitcoin or crypto services, then you could actually not be considered a banking app. I think that would be something to look into, and they could be the way that could be like their scapegoat or whatever, where they can kind of have best of both worlds. But so that's the thing. I mean, it's a tricky place they're in. This will set precedent, like I said, not only for these apps, but for the actual crypto market as well, because whatever happens here is going to follow up next. So hopefully we can get a dub. All this stuff, I would say in general, all this stuff will always be dynamic. And what I mean is, just because the government, let's say they do say that these wallets aren't banks anymore, like, oh my goodness, you know how crazy it'll go on these apps. They're about to make so much money if that were the case. But let's say the government did say that, or they did lessen the regulation when Trump comes in. Any of this stuff is dynamic. In 10 years, it can change. In 15 years, it can change. In 6 months, it can change. Like, it can change based off of who's in government and how they feel. So none of this is for forever. But as long as, like, the goal of all this stuff, again, the goal of pushing back against the government and not just letting them turn you upside down and shake the sonic coins out of everyone, is to just slow down processes. It slows down the government from messing with you so you can make more money, keep more money, and continue living your life. So, right, if they do come in 15 years and say, fine, no, all these apps are banks, whatever, like, we got a good 15 years off it. You got a kid through high school or college or whatever, like, all right, well, come and do it now. I'm about to retire anyway, right? Like, it becomes one of those things. So, that's what a lot of this fighting back and self-regulation about. It's like, just like the government, you're not even planning to take a real win. Just slow them down, right? Slow. If they were to say, hey, everybody from 2016 to 2020 who did any crypto stuff, yes, we're coming after you, but nothing's due until the year 2040. That's a win for me. I don't, who knows what's going to happen by then? All right. I don't know what's going to happen by then. And then once the year 2040 comes, you get a new lawyer with some new litigation and some new appeals. It's like, hold on. We said what in what year? Man, look, I'll talk about this in 2045. All right. And then we get a new judge and new laws and new appeals. Like, this is the way the process works. And there's nothing you be worried about. You just pay the lawyers. That is what they do, litigation. So again, I'm happy to see that they're actually pushing back here. This would probably be one of the biggest cases here, depending on what happens. So Again, they're saying the CFPB's unlawful power grab undermines the rule of law, further bloats the administrative state, and puts American consumers and innovation at risk. Net Choice's director of litigation, Chris Marchese, said in a statement, I again would like to see this where like these are private wallets, but it's not going to happen, folks. I don't see that happening. For one, precedent has already kind of been set by like again, it's so much harder to fight on your back. Like if you're already getting beat up, right? You're in a fight, you're getting beat up, and you're on your back getting getting playground style, right? It's a lot harder to fight that person off like on your back after you already getting beat up. It's one thing you just go down and you're going back and forth. But if you're already getting beat up on your back, they dogging you playground style, it is very hard to start swinging back and then to get up and start fighting and winning. And to me, that's what like these companies are doing. When you think about the Cash Apps, as I just mentioned, the Robin Hoods, they're saying, hey, we're not a banking app. We're trying to take this to the court. But the court is going to look and say, well, you've been operating as a banking app the last 3 or 4 years anyway. You've been collecting this customer information. You've been doing debit cards and these cards and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to say, well, the government said we had to operate like this or we're in violation. It's like, yeah, but you did it. Like you didn't keep fighting. You start. So my thing is like, you've already been operating as a bank for 4 years. Now you're saying, can we not be a bank? It's like, you should have did that from the beginning. You should have never started collecting. Like, I remember when Cash App first started doing it. I remember when it happened to me. I was like, why are you even starting this? Like, you should have never asked me for the information to begin with, and we would have been good to go. The fact that you asked for it and you now have it actually validates you as a bank. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I hope they don't go have to it doesn't have to happen that way. But just informed me said 259 pages, LOL. That's my point. Yes, it should have been 3,000 pages, right? Like, now you don't want it that long because they're already a bank, and essentially it would take forever. They should have actually made it shorter, but this is what I mean by yes, you got to make this stuff long. You gotta give them back what they're giving you. Stan said the states are moving towards Bitcoin reserves. Also, the feds and states are about to turn crypto up. Lambo season incoming moon. Y'all are hilarious. All right, last but not least, Senator Lummis is in the news. Hey, shout out to Lummis. This is for how Senator Lummis is with crypto is very similar to actual how Dr. Lummis was for Michael Myers, right? Like Michael Myers for her is the federal government, of course, and she's representing crypto, which is the medicine. So I am with Senator Lummis. Shout out to Senator Lummis. You must ensure your staff cease and desist destruction of all materials and end retaliatory actions immediately. Senator Lummis claims FDIC destroy Operation Choke Point 2.0 documents. Say it ain't so. The federal government is in there shredding paperwork and burning papers. Oh no, say it ain't so. Listen, if a senator is really saying this and this is real, like this is beyond treason and prison time. This is absolutely insane, and it should be the top story on every mainstream news channel. But we know that's not going to happen. Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis sent a letter to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation claiming that whistleblowers informed her that the agency allegedly destroyed documents related to Operation Choke Point 2.0. You are dang right it's going to be whistleblowers. You're telling me you're going to be in a federal office and destroy paperwork relating to you telling people not to use crypto, and no one in that office with their federal job that they've had already for 15 or 20 years and probably going to keep for another 10 or 15 years, you're telling me not one of them going to be like, oh, hell no. Hey, you're not about to get me and my family wrapped up in this. Like, this is real prison for real, people. Like, you destroy it. For one, if we're going to look at it from a military point of view, you destroying Uncle Sam's property, boy. That ain't your property. That's Uncle Sam's property you destroying. That is like all types of real crime. That's the same as if you were to destroy something at the post office or you destroy like any federal item. That is Uncle Sam's. That is a Fed crime instantly. I don't care if it is paperwork. Like, what are you talking about? So, and let's say this is going to become a case or an active case and you've destroyed it. Oh man, listen, show me the law. Of course, they're going to be a whistleblower. There's not, like they said, whistleblowers. I bet half the office was like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with this. A, and then B, think about the competition at work in these federal jobs. Like I said, some people have been there 20 or 30 years. It's a dirty game. What's the best way to get them about the seat? You over here destroying stuff, boss? Oh, okay. Ring, ring. Yeah, boss man destroying stuff. And he been working at the same job for 20 years. I've been trying to get a promotion for forever. Please get him up out of here. Next. So this is crazy. I think this will become a bigger story if this crypto council is made, because I'm sure people are going to say, hey, the same way the government came after us for the last 4 to 5, 8 years, let's start picking them apart. Let's go after the CFTC and see what they did in 2017 to limit the growth of the American crypto industry. Lummis instructed the government agency to cease the destruction of documents. Oh, it's official. If she officially did it, then it's official. To cease the destruction of documents and preserve all records related to digital asset activities, including the supervision of Signature Bank and the liquidation of Silvergate Bank. There we go. The senator warned the FDIC. Shout out if you are new to the party. Silvergate Bank is one of the first crypto banks out there. They were based in San Diego, like kind of, I think, Oceanside. So San Diego, Oceanside area, Southern California. I've done business with them. Like, they were doing great business. They were like, if you're in crypto and you need some banking, they did stop doing individual banks, like, or individual people. They only started doing businesses toward the end because of the regulatory pressure. But they were here for the crypto community first. And this is what I mean by there should be real lawsuits. One of the first banks to put their entire business on the line for the crypto industry gets destroyed by the regulators just in time for new banks and companies like BlackRock and Chase and everyone else who's still talking bad about crypto or who talk bad about crypto to come in and now get all the money of this incoming multi-trillion-dollar market. That's where it's like, come on. There has to be something for Silvergate at the end. It can't be, sorry, you were just the first ones through the door. I would love to see Silvergate sue the government and say, no, like, we want 200 million back, something back for what this company would have been worth in 2 to 3 short years based on the trajectory of other wealth management and banks in this space. Like, why couldn't a Silvergate Bank have an ETF by now? So, yeah, oh man, they about to get me on this Friday rant. They about, hey, shout out to Silvergate Bank. They about to piss me off. Lummis is being quoted. If it is uncovered that you or your staff have knowingly destroyed materials or sought to obstruct the oversight functions of the Senate, I will make swift criminal referrals to U.S. Department of Justice. Oh, I didn't even listen. I didn't even read the article. Like I said, I knew where this was going.
We're not gonna take it.
What's that? One more
We're
time.
not gonna take it.
Calm down.
We're not gonna take it.
Oh man, turn up.
We're not gonna take it.
All right, I've been saying that for years. We are not going to take it, and it's finally happening. You know what? Those government jobs are going to turn into some of these folks' crypto portfolios. You know what I'm talking about.
And it's gone.
That quick. Your 15-year job at the what's this? The FDIC. Your 10-year job here. That cushion government job and air-conditioned office, Uncle Sam taking care of you and your family, is all going to waste because one or two bankers asked you to make crypto, to limit the competitive ways cryptocurrency could attack the bank, to add barriers. And instead of you being American saying, hey, we're just here for everybody and who, the best thing wins, you pick sides, and you pick sides with the minority. You pick sides with the multi-billionaires who already got life set up for them and their families, who don't need no more favors. Those are the people you pick sides with. If you all remember, they had a document going back and forth that talked about this whole Operation Choke Point, where they redacted about 14 of the 15 pages there, or something, just black ink going through a financial document from our federal government. What? Yes, Senator Lummis, lock them up. Lock up, but these are the thugs and criminals that I'm talking about all the time on the show. When I say gang, gang, and some people say I'm exaggerating, it's like, no, they're actually committing federal crimes. And they work for the federal government. This is gang, gang right here. Shout out to Senator Lummis for saying, hey, well, if y'all is gang, gang, y'all ain't paid me yet. You ain't come to, hey, Senator Lummis said,
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved.
you understand? She said, hold on. She said, you didn't tell me about it. Okay. Shout out to her. About to put the clamps down. Operation Choke Point 2.0, again, was a concerted effort to cut off crypto-related firms from banking services, widely impacted the industry in multiple countries, and was a major pain point for industry advocacy groups during the 2024 United States election. And again, for people who are watching this or have heard me for like this is one of your first time, the reason why I'm going so hard on this and I'm serious about it is because I went through this. This wasn't a joke. It's going 2016, 2017, hundreds of thousands of dollars of doing consulting and everything else. And all of a sudden, QuickBooks says, "Oh, hey, we can't use you as a client no more." Like the day, like you wake up on a Tuesday and just like we're dropping you as a client. And it's like, okay, what does that mean for all my information? What's going on? Like, what's the back end processes you have already? Somebody buys something or does something, or you do whatever, it's already processed, and there no reasoning behind it. They don't tell you anything. Luckily, I was told a reasoning. They told me, the entire JP Morgan not really dealing with crypto and them backing QuickBooks. But it was one of those things was like, well, who is directing all this like actions? There is a human. People always say, well, I don't know. I'm just getting the word from this. Is like, no, this isn't the computer system and AI is running everything. There's a human directing you to do this. I want to know these humans or human who it is. I keep saying it's a small percentage of humans because they are already the people who are stupid, wealthy, and control everything. They don't want to be displaced essentially by Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. But I am glad to see this because again, this has affected me personally in my business. Twice actually. That's just the first time. The second time was actually Silvergate Bank itself. When Silvergate Bank went out of business, it affected me. That's 2 times. So it was just like, yes, shout out to Senator Lummis. This is what we need to see. This is what I like to see when you talk about Senate and Congress, men and women. Like this is what standing up for the people looks like, where they're like, oh, how in the hell does a government agency pick and choose who's going to be allowed to do financial services essentially? And then when they're questioned about it, they either redact and black out evidence or actually go as far as to destroy it. These are people who forgot who paid them. They really think they're getting like they're doing something and they're generating revenue, not understanding this is taxpayer money. Like this is crazy to me, but I love it. Gang, gang. Shout out to Senator Lummis. Stick your foot all the way up through they behind until they coughing out your toes. All right. I don't know. Smash a like and share, folks. That's the show for today. Check out that inauguration coming up here soon. And I can't wait to see next week what will happen. Discord this weekend, we'll be talking about